Let's talk Tanya for the 7th of Cheshvan of a leap year. In the Tanya of the last days, we've quoted a passage from the Zohar which talks about the Nigla and Kabbalah parts of Torah, the revealed parts of Torah, and the mystical parts of Torah, respectively. And the implication over there is that the revealed part of Torah is associated with the Eitz Hadas Toivara, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, as opposed to the Kabbalah, which is the Eitz HaChaim, the tree of knowledge. And the Alter Rebbe asked, in the past days, the Alter Rebbe asked several questions on this passage of the Zohar, on the simple understanding of this passage of the Zohar. And let's start with the first question. Again, the first question the Alter Rebbe asked was, how can we say that there are parts of Torah which are not the Eitz HaChaim, which are not the tree of life? And the Alter Rebbe says, absolutely 100% you are correct. Every single part of the Torah is the Eitz HaChaim, is the tree of life. And the Zohar doesn't say otherwise. The Zohar does not say that the Nigla part of Torah, the revealed part of Torah, is the Eitz Hadas. If you look closely, what it says is that the world that we live in is dominated by the Eitz Hadas Teivara, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Nowhere does it say that the Torah that discusses our world, which is the Nigla part of Torah, is also from the Eitz Hadas. What does that mean that our world is dominated by the Eitz Hadas Teivara, by the tree of knowledge of good and evil? What that means is the Alter Rebbe says that in our world, everything is a mixture of good and evil, which is why, what does the Torah tell us? The Torah tells us that which is forbidden and that which is permitted. The Hebrew words for that are asur, forbidden, and mutar, which means permitted. But the words asur and mutar, actually, what do they mean? Very literally, the word asur means tied or confined, and the word mutar means untied or unconfined. What does that mean? That means everything over here in this world contains within a divine spark. That's what gives us its energy, its existence. But everything here in this world, because it is here in this world, is trapped in klipa. It is trapped in a shell of unholiness, which conceals the spark within it. Can we elevate that spark? Can we separate or disencumber that spark and elevate that spark to holiness? So it depends. Some things, the answer is yes, if it is untied. Untied means that yes, the spark is right now being held hostage by the klipa, but at the same time, it is not tied there. It could be removed. So anything which is permitted, and that is why the word mutar means untied or unconfined, anything which is permitted, the definition is that we can elevate the spark, we can release and elevate the spark within it. And how do we do that? So the Rebbe says there are three ways how to elevate the spark. Either if we use it mindfully, l'shem shamayim, in order to serve God. So for example, if you eat something with the intention of serving God, then automatically you're elevating the spark in that food. Even if you did not use it mindfully, but if you actually ended up using the energy that that food gave you in order to serve Hashem, in other words, you used it to do a mitzvah, study Torah, that's another way of elevating the spark. Or if you use it for a mitzvah, so for example, when we eat on Shabbos, regardless of what our intention is, the very fact that we're eating something on Shabbos automatically elevates that spark. Then there are those things that are asur, that are prohibited because they're tied down, which means that the divine spark inside it is tied down and it cannot be elevated. But even the things that are asur, that are prohibited, are also a product of Eitz Hadas Teivara, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, because they have the husk and they have a spark. The only thing is that under normal circumstances, we can't elevate that spark. Interestingly, the Alter Rebbe brings down over here that when you use something which is forbidden, but you use it for pikuach nefesh, because there's a life that's in danger, in which case it becomes a mitzvah to actually use it. So then you elevate the spark even in something which is forbidden, because everything in this world ultimately is a mixture of good and bad. Eitz Hadas Teivara, the tree of knowledge of good and of evil. That is the world. Then there is the Torah. Every part of Torah, even the parts of Torah which discuss that which is permitted and that which is forbidden, all of that is Eitz HaChaim. That is all the tree of life. And every single part of it is sourced in the world of Atzilus, which is the world of godliness, and is 100% and absolutely goodness and holiness and godliness. Now, we still need to understand then, why does the Zohar make this distinction? And it seems that the Zohar is saying that Kabbalah has a greater association with the Eitz HaChaim. We'll talk about that later in this chapter. But for the purposes of what we're understanding right now, we need to know that every single part of Torah is the Eitz HaChaim, the tree of life. Our world is dominated by the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which results in this mixture of good and evil in everything in this world. In tomorrow's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe is going to attempt to resolve or reconcile that which we just said today with some places in Kabbalah where it seems to imply that not every single part of Torah is rooted in the world of Atzilus, but rather some parts of Torah are from the lower worlds of creation, and how we reconcile that with that which we're saying today, that every part of Torah is godliness and from Atzilus, that we will see, God willing, in tomorrow's Let's Talk Tanya.